Did you know that 5 everyday exercises, yes, ones you might be doing right now, could land you in the emergency room with a surgery bill that'd make your wallet cry? We're talking about the kind of pain that makes you wish you'd never even looked at a dumbbell. And the worst part, these aren't some crazy, obscure movements. These are the bread and butter exercises that everybody and their grandma is doing at the gym. Stick around because in the next 10 minutes I'm revealing the moves that could cost you your health and your savings and how to avoid them. We're gonna break down the good, the bad, and the ugly of these exercises. I'm talking proper form, common mistakes, and the potential consequences if you're not careful. Let's dive in before you accidentally bench press your way to bankruptcy. Alright, let's talk deadlifts. This exercise is often hailed as the king of all exercises, and for good reason. The deadlift is a powerhouse move that targets multiple muscle groups at once. It builds your back, your legs, your grip. Essentially, it's a full-body workout in one move. But here's the thing. It's also one of the easiest ways to mess up your back if you're not careful. We're talking herniated discs, pinched nerves, muscle spasms, injuries that can sideline you for weeks, if not months. These injuries are not just painful, they can be debilitating. The kind of pain that'll have you walking like Quasimodo, and trust me, that's not a good look. So, what's the big mistake people make? Simple. They round their back. You see it all the time. Guys loading up the bar with way more weight than they can handle, then trying to jerk it off the ground with a rounded spine. That's a recipe for disaster, my friends. You gotta treat your spine like it's made of glass, especially when you're lifting heavy weight. Keep that core tight, engage those lats, and lift with your legs, not your back. Think about it. Your spine is what holds your entire body together. Do you really want to mess with that? And don't even get me started on the cost of back surgery. We're talking upwards of $100,000 if you need a fusion or a disc replacement. That's a lot of protein powder, my friends. So, what's the takeaway here? Respect the deadlift, start light, focus on form, and gradually increase the weight as you get stronger. Trust me, your spine will thank you for it. Remember, it's not about how much you can lift, but how well you can lift it. Proper form is key to avoiding injury and making consistent progress. So next time you're in the gym, take a moment to check your form. Make sure your back is straight, your core is engaged, and you're lifting with your legs. It's the small adjustments that make the biggest difference. So, respect the deadlift, and it will respect you back. Start light, focus on form, and gradually increase the weight as you get stronger. Trust me, your spine will thank you for it. Happy lifting, everyone. Next up, we've got the overhead press, another classic exercise that can build some serious upper body strength. But here's the catch, it can also wreak havoc on your shoulders if you're not careful. Specifically, your rotator cuffs. Now, for those of you who don't know, your rotator cuffs are a group of muscles and tendons that surround your shoulder joint. They're responsible for stabilizing your shoulder, rotating your arm, and basically just keeping everything in place. And let me tell you, those little suckers are delicate. The biggest mistake people make with the overhead press is letting their elbows flare out to the sides. This puts a ton of stress on your rotator cuffs and can lead to tears, tendinitis, and all sorts of other nasty stuff. And trust me, you don't want to mess with a rotator cuff injury. Surgery can cost you upwards of $50,000, and recovery can take months. And even then, you might not ever regain full range of motion. So yeah, it's not pretty. The key to avoiding rotator cuff injuries during the overhead press is to keep your elbows tucked in close to your body. This helps to keep the stress off your shoulders and ensures that you're using the right muscles. Chapter 3. Squats. Your knees will thank you. Let's talk squats, shall we? The squat is another one of those foundational exercises that's essential for building lower body strength and muscle. It's a compound movement that engages multiple muscle groups, including your quads, hamstrings, glutes, and even your core. When done correctly, squats can help improve your overall athletic performance, enhance your balance, and even boost your metabolism. But just like with the deadlift and the overhead press, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Proper form is crucial to avoid injuries and to get the most out of the exercise. It's not just about bending your knees and lowering your body, it's about maintaining the right posture, engaging the right muscles, and moving in a controlled manner. And if you're not careful, you could be setting yourself up for a world of pain and expensive medical bills. Knee injuries are particularly common among those who squat incorrectly, and they can be debilitating. The biggest mistake people make with the squat is letting their knees cave in. This is often due to weak hip muscles or poor ankle mobility, which can cause your knees to move inward as you lower your body. You know what I'm talking about, that dreaded knee valgus that you see all the time at the gym. It's a common issue, but it's one that can be corrected with the right training and awareness. It's like their knees are trying to kiss each other. Not only does this look ridiculous, but it's also incredibly hard on your knees. This inward movement puts undue stress on the knee joint, which can lead to serious injuries over time. When your knees cave in during a squat, it puts a ton of stress on your ligaments, tendons, and cartilage. This can cause micro tears and inflammation, which, if left unchecked, can develop into more severe conditions. And over time, this can lead to all sorts of problems, including ACL tears, meniscus injuries, and even arthritis. These injuries are not only painful but can also significantly limit your mobility and quality of life. And trust me, you don't want to mess with any of those. Knee injuries can be incredibly challenging to recover from, often requiring extensive physical therapy and in some cases, surgery. ACL surgery alone can cost you upwards of $75,000, and recovery can take a year or more. The rehabilitation process is grueling and requires a lot of dedication and effort. And even then, you might not ever be able to run or jump the same way again. The long-term impact of a knee injury can be devastating, affecting not just your athletic performance but also your day-to-day activities. So yeah, it's not something to take lightly. Taking the time to learn and practice proper squat form can save you a lot of pain and trouble in the long run. The key to squatting safely and effectively is to keep your knees tracking over your toes. This alignment helps to ensure that your knees are moving in a natural and safe path. This helps to ensure that the stress of the exercise is being distributed evenly throughout your legs, rather than being concentrated on your knees. By doing so, you can maximize the benefits of the squat while minimizing the risk of injury. So next time you hit the gym, remember, your knees will thank you. Chapter 4. Bench press, check your ego at the door. Alright, let's talk about the bench press. This is the ultimate test of upper body strength, right? It's the exercise that everyone wants to be good at, the one that gets all the attention at the gym. Whether you're a seasoned lifter or a newbie, the bench press is often seen as the gold standard for measuring upper body power. It's the exercise that everyone wants to be good at, the one that gets all the attention at the gym. But with all that attention comes a lot of pressure. People start to feel like they need to lift heavier and heavier weights to prove themselves. But it's also an exercise that's rife with ego lifting, and that's a recipe for disaster. Ego lifting is when you prioritize the amount of weight you're lifting over proper form and technique. This is not only ineffective but also dangerous. Here's the thing, when it comes to the bench press, more weight does not equal more impressive. In fact, it's often the opposite. If you're sacrificing form just to move more weight, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not building strength effectively, and you're setting yourself up for injury. In fact, it's often the opposite. If you're sacrificing form just to move more weight, you're not doing yourself any favors. Proper form is crucial for maximizing the benefits of the bench press and minimizing the risk of injury. It's better to lift lighter weights with perfect form than to lift heavy weights with poor form. In fact, you're putting yourself at risk for serious injury. Shoulder injuries, torn pectoral muscles, and even rib fractures are common among those who let their ego dictate their lifting. One of the biggest mistakes people make with the bench press is not using a spotter. A spotter is there to help you lift safely, to assist you if you get stuck, and to ensure that you're lifting with proper form. They think they're too tough, too experienced, or maybe they're just too embarrassed to ask for help. But lifting without a spotter is a gamble that can have serious consequences. But here's the thing, everyone needs a spotter, even the pros. Professional bodybuilders and powerlifters always have spotters because they understand the importance of safety and proper technique. A good spotter can save you from serious injury if you get pinned under the bar. They can also provide valuable feedback on your form and help you lift more effectively. Another common mistake is bouncing the bar off your chest. This is a surefire way to injure your ribs, sternum, or even your heart. Bouncing the bar might make it easier to lift heavier weights, but it's a dangerous and ineffective technique. This is a surefire way to injure your ribs, sternum, or even your heart. The impact can cause serious damage to your bones and internal organs. The bench press is not a bouncing contest, it's a controlled movement. You should be lowering the bar slowly and smoothly to your chest, pausing for a moment, and then pressing it back up with control. This ensures that you're engaging the right muscles and lifting safely. You should be lowering the bar slowly and smoothly to your chest, pausing for a moment, and then pressing it back up with control. This controlled movement is what builds strength and muscle effectively. And of course, we can't forget about ego lifting. This is when people try to lift more weight than they can handle, just to impress the people around them. It's a common sight in gyms, but it's a dangerous practice. This is when people try to lift more weight than they can handle, just to impress the people around them. But here's the thing. Nobody cares how much you can bench press. They're too busy worrying about their own workouts. But here's the thing. Nobody cares how much you can bench press. They're too busy worrying about their own workouts. The only person you should be trying to impress is yourself. They're too busy worrying about their own workouts, so ditch the ego, focus on proper form, and lift within your limits. Remember, the goal is to build strength and muscle safely and effectively. So ditch the ego, focus on proper form, and lift within your limits. The bench press is a powerful exercise when done correctly. Prioritize safety, technique, and consistency, and you'll see the best results. Chapter 5. Box jumps land like a ninja. Let's talk about box jumps, shall we? This is one of those exercises that looks deceptively simple but can actually be quite technical. And if you're not careful, you could end up with a nasty injury. The biggest mistake people make with box jumps is misjudging the height of the box. They get overconfident, try to jump too high, and end up landing awkwardly on the edge of the box. This can lead to all sorts of problems, including sprained ankles, fractured shins, and even Achilles tendon injuries. Another common mistake is landing too hard. When you land from a box jump, you want to absorb the impact with your muscles and tendons, not your joints. If you land with stiff legs, all that force is going to go straight into your knees and ankles. The key to landing a box jump safely is to land softly and quietly like a ninja. You want to control your descent, absorb the impact, and step down from the box rather than jumping down. And as always, start with a lower box height and gradually increase the height as you get stronger and more confident. There you have it, 5 exercises that could turn your gains into hospital gowns and 6-figure bills. Deadlifts, presses, squats, bench, and box jumps. Love them, but respect them. These exercises are the cornerstones of a solid workout routine, but you gotta approach them with caution. Remember, it's not about lifting the most weight or looking cool. It's about moving your body in a way that's safe, effective, and sustainable over the long haul. Want to master these moves? Drop a comment with your favorite exercise, smash that like button if you're staying safe, and subscribe for more fitness truth bombs. I'm here to give you the knowledge you need to achieve your fitness goals without breaking your body or your bank. Next week, we're tackling the diet myth that's killing your progress. See you in the gym. Don't be a $200,000 cautionary tale.